Assalamualaikum students. I'm a teacher from Ilm Online Academy. In my previous lecture, I discussed 1.8D exercise and in which we just simplified some of the surds. So from question number 1 up till question number 6 we have completed. You can check the previous video. Today I'm going to start from question number 7 and onward. So let's start from question number 7 first of all. So in question number 7, what they're saying that the area of this rectangle is 30 centimeters square. We need to find out the value for the x, that is basically the length of this rectangle, and we need to give our answer in the form of a square root b, where a and b are the integers. Let me tell you again, like if we have the number inside a square root, that is not a perfect square. For example, 5, if I'm writing, it's not a perfect square, it's a prime number. So if we have a number like this in the form of square root, so this basically is called the surd. Okay, so sometimes a number can be outside as well. Basically, they are talking about this form that we need to give, right? So for this, we will be directly using the formula for area of the rectangle. Let's go on with this part number 7. We know that area of rectangle, it's basically having the formula length times width. Fine. Length they gave us, that is basically the x, and the width they gave us is 3 square root 2 centimeter. Next here, area as well, they has been given us, so 30 centimeter square is basically the area. Now we will simplify this one to find out the value for the x. So this 3 square root 2 that has been multiplied over here, when I will shift on the other side, it will be in the form of division, like we can write it as 30 over 3 square root 2, and that is basically the value for the x. Now 3 can be a bit simplified with the 30, that will be 3 1 times and 3 10 times 30. So what we can write x as 10 over square root 2. So here we will go with rationalization, as they said that you need to give your answer in the form of a square root b, like square root b must be in the numerator, not in the denominator. So for that, we will go with the rationalization of the denominator. And as we have only square root 2 in the denominator for rationalization, we will be just multiplying it by square root 2 and we will be dividing it by the square root 2 as well. Okay, this is an important step. Like this step is basically called rationalize. Okay, this process is called rationalization, and in which we just done like rationalization with the denominator. You need to multiply and divide similarly with the denominator. Okay, next. So after this, just we will go with the simplification. So 10 square root 2 in the numerator we can write as it is, and when two thirds will be multiplied together, we can write it as square root 2 square. Okay, so square will be cancelled out with the square root, and only we will be left with 10 square root 2 over 2. So this can be simplified a bit more, like to 5 times 10. So we got exactly the form 5 square root 2, what they were asking for, and a and b are basically the integers. So 5 and 2 as well are the integers. So this is basically the length that was missing over here. We need to find out, and that is basically the value for the x. So again, like we have just used the formula for area of the rectangle, and inside they give whatsoever, like the length or the width they gave us, we need to just put them, and as they gave us the area as well, so I use that as well. Fine. As the previous one, length that they gave us or the width that they gave us was in centimeters, so that's why our final answer will be also in centimeters. Okay, so hope so this one is fine. Next, for the part 8 as well, they are saying that write each of these in the form of n square root 6, where n is an integer. N square root 6, why they gave, like inside the square root, you need to represent 6, like for all of these a, b, c. Okay, inside square root 6 must be there, and n can be any integer, like that can be either positive or negative. This depends on the question. So let's start with question number 8, part number A. So we have square root 6 times square root 50 over square root 2. First, we will simplify this one a bit, and after that, we will just go for the further process. Here we can check that this square root 2, if I will be talking about, like this can be divisible, like 6 can be divisible by 2, or 50 as well can be divisible by 2. So even we can write them in 1/3 as well. Okay, we can represent them in 1/3. For example, let's keep the square root 6 as it is, because we want the square root 6 in the inside, like here for the final answer. So I'm just bringing this 50 and 2 inside like this. Okay, so if I will be just making this simply, like I will simplify this one. So this is basically 25. Okay, like 2 is 25 times 50. So 25 is basically the perfect square. That is for the perfect square of 5. We can write it as 5 square. So square will be cancelled out with the square root and only we left with the 5 square root 6. If we have a whole number, along with that we have a third. So we will write the whole number first and third after that. So your value for the n over here is like 5. 5 is basically representing n over here, okay? So we gave the answer in the form of uh, n square root 6. Next, starting with the B part. In the B part, they gave us square root 12 plus square root 108 over square root 8. So as both of the numbers are being given in the form of addition, so we can't simplify like just the way I divided 50 and 2 directly over here, I can't divide any of the number right here, okay? Because of this addition sign. It means that numerator simplification first we need to do, then we will work with the denominator working, okay? So square root 12 if they gave, basically if I will be just taking one perfect square out, so we can write this as 4 times 3 because 4 will be the perfect square and but 3 is not, so 3 will be kept inside. And if I will be checking for 108, so dividing by any of the number, let me check if we have a perfect square with this, okay? So yes, this one is giving me a perfect square, 36 times 3, okay? 36 times 3 gives us the 108. So that's why I'm using this, because 36 square root 36 is going to give me the perfect square, and that we can just make it out. And downward over here, 4 times 2, we can make this. Okay, 4 times 2. So next for the simplification, what we can do, like 4 is a perfect square for 2, we can make it outside. Square root 3 is remaining. 6 is basically the perfect square for 36. Square root 3 is inside. And this can be 2 square root 2 like this, okay? So for the further action, like 2 plus 6, like both are having square root 3, square root 3. So we can add them like directly. So 6 plus 2 will be 8 square root 3. And downward over here, we have 2 square root 2. Okay, so here we can go with simplification. Like 2 4 times is basically 8. So the number that I got is 4 square root 3 over square root 2. But this is basically not in the form what they are asking, like n square root 6. So for that, what we will do, we will rationalize this. Okay, as we have the square root in the denominator. So for this, we need to go with rationalization. We have 4 square root 3 in the numerator, and in the denominator, we have square root 2. So we'll multiply with the square root 2 as well, and we will divide with the square root 2 as well. So here in this step, I have done the rationalization. So we can write these both into one in one third, and downward this will be square root 2 whole square, right? So 3 2 times will be 6 and only 2 will be remaining. We can simplify it as like 2 2 times 4 and we left with 2 square root 6. So exactly the form we got, and at the place of n we are getting the integer 2. Okay, so in this way, for example, at like after doing the simplifications, you haven't got the term whatever they are asking for, but if you have a third in the denominator, then you need to go with the rationalization, and only then you will be getting the exactly the form what they are asking for. Okay, this is your part number B. Hope so this is clear. Next, going on with part number C, we have 10 square root 3 over square root 32 negative square root 18. Okay, here as well, we need to go with simplifications first of all, and I can't go directly by dividing because the terms are different and they are being subtracted. So first of all, we will see that what terms we can use for the multiplication or the making the product, so that one can be the perfect square and second can be the simple number. Okay, so if for 32, I will consider like one perfect square, that can be 16, because 16 2 times is 32 and 16 is the perfect square for 4. And if for 18, we will see this will be 9 times 2. So let's simplify this one. This is almost similar to the part number B. 4 square root 2 this will be, and this will be 3 square root 2, because 3 is basically the square for, like, 9 is basically the square for 3. So let's subtract them both because we have the similar surd. So if we have the similar surd, you can easily add and subtract them. So 4 negative 3, this will be 1 square root 2. No need to represent 1 here. So after this step, we need to go with rationalization. We have square root 2 in the denominator. We will multiply as well and we will divide as well, like this. With a similar, exactly similar surd, we will use to for multiplication and division. So let's simplify this one. This will be 10 square root 6 again, like 3 times 2. And downward we have square root 2 and square root 2. So square root 2 times square root 2, we can take it as square root 2 whole square. And after just simplification, we will be having 10 square root 6 over 2. Okay, square will be cancelled out with the square root and 2 5 times 10. So the number we got it as 5 square root 6. So this is exactly the form that they were asking for. And here 5 is basically represented by the integer n. Okay. So it's completely your part number 8 we have done. Next, let's go on with part number 9. And in part number 9, they're saying the square A and rectangle B are equal in area. We need to calculate the value for the M over here. So M is basically like the part of one missing length for the part for the B. That is basically a rectangle. So first we will work on the areas of both of these, and as they're saying the areas are equal, so we will just compare them. So accordingly we will do. Okay, so first of all, let's find out the, for part number 9, let's first find out area of square. So area of square is basically length times length, or you can say length square or side times side, anything you can use, because all of the sides of the square are exactly equal. So that's why we will use to compare both of them in this way. Square root 2 plus square root 18 times it by square root 2 plus square root 18. Basically, this will be square root 2 plus square root 18 whole square. We can write it in this way as well, okay? So if I will simplify, this will be 2 plus square root 2 plus 18 is perfect square for, it's not a perfect square, but we can just make it as 9 times 2. And in this, 9 will be the perfect square for 3. So square root 2 plus 3 square root 2. As inside the surd, we have this 2. So that's why we can easily add them. 3 plus 1 will be 4 square root 2. And we need to take the square as well. So 4 square is 16. And square will be cancelled out with the square root. Only 2 will be remaining. So 16 2 times is 32 centimeters square. This is basically the area of the square that we got until. Okay. Next, we need to work with the area of rectangle. Area of rectangle. So for area of rectangle, the formula is basically like as we have used this one, but for area of rectangle, the formula is length times width. Okay. So going on with length times width, length is basically m square root 2 and the width is basically 2 square root 2. Okay, if I will simplify this one a bit, this will be 2m and square root 2 whole square. The reason for this is like square root 2 and square root 2 both are similar and then been multiplied together, so we can cancel out the square with the square root and only we will be left with 2. So 2 times is 4m. Now they're saying the area of the rectangle and area of the square are basically equal. So according to the condition, now here I'm going to apply this condition and I'm going to put the areas equal to each other like this. Okay, now from this we can easily find out the value for them by dividing this m with like 4 with 32. So for 8 times is 32. So this is basically the value for them. And it's a constant number. No need to write centimeter or meter because it's not the length or either width. So just m value is basically 8. Okay, so this is your part number 9. Hope so this as well is clear. Now let's move on to the next part, that is part number 10. And in this they're saying that expand and simplify these two surds that are being multiplied together, and you need to give your answer in the form of a square root b negative c. So let's go on with part number 10. First of all, let's write down the surds that they gave. 2 negative 2 square root 5. And here we have 1 plus 3 square root 5. So for multiplication, First, I'm using the first number of this third, so we have to multiply it by 1 first of all, and then we will multiply it with 3 square root 5. So 2 1 times is 2 plus 2 3 times will be 6 square root 5. Now this will be multiplied with 1, so there is a negative sign, so that's why we will also use a negative sign. And multiplying it by 1, we will get it similar. And then this needs to be multiplied with 3 square root 5. So 3 2 times 6 plus minus is minus 3 2 times 6. Square root 5 and square root 5 can be square root 5 square. Okay. Now let's simplify it further. We have 2 and 6 negative 2 will be 4 square root 5. Both have similar surds. That's why I subtracted them both. Okay. Next we have 6 and square root 5 square will be only gives 6, 5. Okay. Because square will be cancelled out with the square root. Okay. So next 2 plus 4 square root 5 negative 6 5 times 30. So 2 and 30 can be subtracted. So first, as they are saying, you need to represent a square root b first. So we will write this first, 4 square root 5 first, and then 30 and 2, when I will subtract them, this will be negative 28. So basically C is over here is represented by 28 and A and B are represented by 4 and 5 respectively. Okay. So this is your part number 10. Hope so this as well is clear. So moving towards the next part, we have done the 10th one part. So next is part number 11. And in this part, they're saying the triangle ABC has a right angle at C as they gave us right here. And they're saying all the measurements of this triangle is in centimeter. We need to find out the value for the X. Okay, this is basically a right angle triangle. And they gave us all three sides of the triangle. And we need to basically find out the value for the X over here. That is basically one missing side. So as right angle triangle has been given, so we can apply the Pythagoras theorem, and using Pythagoras theorem, we can find out the side. Okay. So part number 11, if I will use the Pythagoras theorem, okay, using Pythagoras theorem. Okay. The Pythagoras theorem is basically hypotenuse square is equals to base square plus perpendicular square. Basically, it's a right angle triangle. So Pythagoras theorem only works with the right angle triangles. Okay. So for this, if the right angle is being given here, this is basically the base. This one is basically the hypotenuse, and this will be the perpendicular. So accordingly, you can use them like the values over here. Hypotenuse basically is 2 square root 14. We need to take the square as well. Base is basically x negative square root 3. We need to take square for this as well. And the perpendicular is x plus square root 3, and we need to take the square for this as well. Okay. So for further simplification, if I will do this 2 square root 14 as we have, so 2 square is basically 4, and 14 square root will be like square root will be cancelled out with the square, and only 14 will be remaining here. Here we need to apply the formula for a negative b whole square. That is basically a square negative 2ab plus b square. Similarly for this, we will apply a plus b whole square. That is basically a square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay. So as a over here is represented by x and b is basically a square root 3. So accordingly, we will apply. So first of all, a square, that is x square, negative 2, a is x and b is square root 3. I'm writing 2 square root 3x and plus square root 3 whole square. This is for the first part. Plus, like similar thing we need to open up, but for the with the plus sign. So x square plus 2 square root 3x plus square root 3 whole square. And here we done. So here we need to go with 14 4 times. So that will be 56. And simplifying this further, I'm going to open up this these brackets. So square x square negative 2 square root 3x plus 3 only will be remaining here because square will be cancelled out with the square root. Then plus x square plus 2 square root 3x plus 3 here as well. Okay. So next we will simplify. So here, like these two terms can be cancelled out, -2 square root 3x and +2 square root 3x. So we left with 56 equals to x square. But x square we have two, like one is over here, one is here. So x square plus x square, this will be 2x square. And along with that, we have 3 plus 3, 9. So now we need to simplify this. First, we can shift this 9 on the other side. That will be in the form of subtraction like this. So from 56, if I'm going to subtract 9, this will be 47 and 2x square as it is. Oh, sorry. Here one mistake I've done. No, yeah, that's fine. No, exactly fine. So what we will do next, that this 2 that has been multiplied over here, we need to shift on the other side and it will be in the form division. Okay. So accordingly, yes, exactly. I found the mistake. 3 plus 3 will be 6 over here, but I wrote 9 accidentally. Sorry for the mistake. This is 3 plus 3. Okay, so that will be 6. So we need to subtract 6 from this 56. So that will be 50. Okay. Next, we need to shift this 2 under this 50 because this been multiplied. When you will shift, it will be in the form of division. So 225 times is basically 50. So this is coming x square equals to 25. Now to find out the value for the x, we will be taking the square root on both sides. So value for the x is coming 5. So in this way, if the right angle triangle is being given and they give all the three sides and some of the values or any one value or any one side is even missing, complete side can be also missing. So you can use Pythagoras theorem. So this can work like for finding any unknown side of the right angle triangle. Only this works on the right angle triangle. If the triangle is not a right angle triangle, then we can't use this theorem. Okay. So hope so this 11th part as well is clear. Now let's move towards the 12th part. They're saying write this as a fraction in its simplest form. So we need to just simplify this fraction. So part number 12, we have been given the fraction square root 75 negative square root 12 over square root 75 plus square root 12. It's up to you if you want to first simplify this a bit and then going on with rationalization. But I think so. I will suggest that if I will go with, first of all, with simplification of these surds a bit first and then by rationalization, so it will be much easier. Okay. So 75, if I will see, like we can just check that if there is a perfect square with this 75. So 25 three times can be 75. So we can use this. And for this 12, we can go with 4 times 3. Downward as well, we can go with 25 times 3. 25 times 3 plus 4 square root 3. So here, like one number is a perfect square. Just make it outside. 5 square root 3, negative 2 square root 3. And downward as well, we have 5 square root 3 plus 2 square root 3. So here we can't cancel the terms out like in this way because the terms are being added or subtracted, but we can add or subtract like the numerator term separately and denominator separately. So 5 negative 2 will be 3 square root 3. Downward 5 plus 2 will be 7 square root 3. Okay, so now we can cancel out square root 3 with the square root 3 and only we have left with 3 over 7. That is a fractional answer. Okay, so in this way you can simplify this. So next part is part number 13, and in this they're saying show that the expression this can be written in the form of this where a and b as well are the integers. Okay. Here like the term that they gave or the question that they gave us a bit looking like it's a complex one, but it's not. If you know like the rules for the simplifications of the surd, then the things will be easier for you. Okay. So we have this. First of all, 300 we will simplify. This will be 4 over 3, and 300 we can made it as 100 times 3 because 100 will be the perfect square and 4 is the perfect square for 2. Keeping this 1 over square root 3 as it is. Now we'll need to simplify this 4 over 3 and 100 is the perfect square for 10, so we can make it outside. This will be 10 square root 3 as and along with this we can just make this 2 outside. So 1 over square root 3 as well similarly here. So 2 5 times 10 or even 2 times 4 you can go. So 4 times is 20 over 3 square root 3 like this. Okay, like here we are left with the 3 in the denominator, like this. And here we left with 1 over square root 3 in the denominator. So what we can do, like here we have simple 3 in the denominator, but here we have 1 over square root 3. So just you can do the rationalization of this 1 over square root 3 like this, square root 3 over square root 3, just with this, okay? So this will be 20 square root 3 over 3 plus this will be square root 3 over 3, because square root 3 times square root 3, this will be square root 3 square. Square will be cancelled out with the square and only we will be left with the 3. So now we can go on with LCM, writing this 20 square root 3 plus square root 3. So 20 plus 1, this will be 21 square root 3 over 3. So 3 7 times is basically 21. So your answer is 7 square root 3. That is basically exactly the form that they are asking for. And A and B is basically represented by 7 and 3 over here. Okay, so these are your two values for this. So part number 13 is being done as well. So hope so this is clear. Moving further with part number 14, what they're saying here that we need to show that the expressions can be written in this form. A over B, that is basically a fractional part. But along with this fractional part, we must have a square root C, that is a surd. So, and here like the expressions that they give, these are in the form of indices. So accordingly, we need to check them. So we have first of all 25 over 3 and we have 1 over 2. That is basically like if we have square root 3, we can represent it in the form of indices like 1 over 2. Okay, square root 3 simply means power 1 over 2. Along with this, would be like the subtraction of 1 over 3 and negative 1 over 2 is being given. So first of all, it's better if we will make this negative 1 over 2 as positive power, because of like if we have a negatives indices, so we need to first make it positive. Okay, keeping this 25 over 3 as it is, we can even make it in the form of surd like this. And for this 1 over 3 is been given. If you will flip it like 3 over 1, you can make this negative 1 over 2 as positive. Like I'm just writing 3 and 1 over 2. Like even this is like 3 by 1 as well. So you can just skip this 1 from the downward side. Okay, so let's simplify it further. This will be square root 25. I'm just making them both separate with the surds and square root 3 here as well. As I told you that power 1 over 2 basically means square root, so 3. So I'm just using because we are dealing with the surds right now. So 5 is basically the perfect like square root for the 25. So 5 over square root 3 negative square root 3. Here the surd is in the numerator, but the thing is that here the surd is in the denominator. So it's better if you will rationalize the this one part. So for the rationalization, as we have 5 over square root 3, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to multiply it with square root 3 and I'm going to divide as well, keeping this square root 3 as it is. So this will be 5 square root 3 and downward square root 3 times square root 3 will be only 3 that we will left with. Okay, so we got over here as square root 3. Now we will just go on by making the denominator similar. So you will multiply and divide by 3 as well, so that in this way you will be having similar denominator like this. Now we can easily go on with subtraction. We have 5 square root 3 negative 3 square root 3 in the numerator. So 5 negative 3 will be 2 square root 3 over 3. Okay, so basically 2 over 3 is being represented by AB and square root 3 is being represented by square root C. So exactly the form we got that they were asking for in part number 14. And this is basically the A part for part number 14. So next, moving towards the B part, again, similar thing we need to do, we need to represent this form. So we have B part as square root 8 into 1 over 3, negative 16 over 3 power 1 over 2, and we have plus 2 square root 3. Again, we are going to represent it with a similar form. So first of all, let's see how we can simplify. Here we have a mixed fraction. So first just make it into a simple fraction or improper fraction. For that, 8 3 times, and we will just go on with multiplication, and 1 we are going to add it up. Okay. So first of all, 8 3 times, that is 24, and 24 plus 1 will be 25 over 3. Negative, and as like previously, like I told you, 1 over 2 means square root. Simply you can represent it like this as well, because we needs to work with the surds over here rather than that of the indices. So that's why it will be better if you will just make it in this way. Next, 25 is basically the perfect square for 5, and we can just make this outside, and square root 3 you can write. Similarly, 4 is basically the perfect square root for this. Square root 16 we can write 4, and downward over here we have square root 3 and plus 2 square root 3 as it is. Here we can make with both of these as one term, because both are having square roots 3 in the denominator, that are basically the like fractions, and we can subtract them in the numerator, like 5 negative 4 and 2 square root 3 as it is. So 5 negative 4 is basically 1 over square root 3 plus 2 square root 3. And as we have the square root 3 in the denominator over here, so we will just simplify it in this way, that we will rationalize it, multiplying by square root 3 and dividing by square root 3 as well, and keeping this 2 square root 3 similarly. So square root 3 one times will be square root 3, and downward over here we will be having square root 3 times square root 3, only 3, plus 2 square root 3. Again, making the denominator similar, multiply and divide by square root, simple with 3. So this will be square root 3 over 3. And here we can go with 3 2 times 6 square root 3 over 3. So as we have like fraction again, so just simply add the numerators together. This will be 6 plus 1, 7 square root 3, and downward we have just 3. So exactly the form we got that they were asking for A over B, we got 7 over 3, and at the place of square root C, we have square root 3. This is basically the answer for part number B, question number 14. Hope so this exercise is clear, and the simplification with the surds as well is clear. So we are just going to end this over here, and inshallah from the next lecture we will continue. Allah Hafiz.